Before I share with you the secrets, I want to share where they came from. Me having turned my life around through a wake-up call. Now, I wouldn't wish that kind of a wake-up call on anyone else, okay? But it usually does take one of those things to snap us out of an entire program. And for me, I was running a program of third generation domestic violence, attracting the wrong sort of men, having no money. I lived in emergency housing as a single mum of 4. I was dropped out of school to be a checkout operator at the age of 14. I worked in a bar. I then married the first boy that gave me a flower. I ended up in women's shelters. I ended up living a life that was the opposite of what I was always dreaming about. But there was a way I was doing life then that was causing me to be stuck. After I had my wake-up call, what happened was I just totally turned my own life around. But I found it a big struggle to help other women because they didn't have their wake-up call like I had. So I tried to help them so much that I paid for them tools and courses so that they would get that breakthrough. But they still didn't. And it frustrated the heck out of me. Imagine this, I was #1 in 10 countries as a leader of women, right? I'm on this trip with 5 other women sailing the Rhine River in Europe, right? We're sipping Moe and we're watching the sun go down. We're going past these beautiful French castles. And I turned around to them because between us all, we were responsible to train 10,000 women. And I turned around to them and I said, girls, have you ever wondered why we teach everything we know and still it's just us here? They've had the same opportunity. We've given them our formulas. And what was really interesting, what we noticed when we had that discussion was every one of us 6 had a different formula. We were doing different things to get the same outcome, the same result. Does that make sense? Although I was #1, so I did have exceptional results, right? So I knew that although I was doing something so right that I was #1 leader, right, in this Fortune 500 company, after a decade of that kind of, 5-star life, after not having a 1-star life, I can tell you, I related more to the people that I couldn't help because they were like the old me. And it didn't feel right for me to keep just doing what I was doing. I needed a new challenge. I thought, right, there's no more challenge. I'm #1 in this company. I hold all of the records, and I still do to this day, by the way, by more than 25%, even though then it was a global financial crisis. So I knew I had something to give that did help the most people. And I knew the secret was in personal development because that was always my strong point. Whereas most other people did training, I was heavy on personal development. I actually always worked on building the woman on the inside. That then helped her to be more successful in her business. Knowing it wasn't enough caused me a new search. I want to find out why women go out the back door, why they are not actualizing. The minute we turn our back and stop working with these women, they just go backwards to where they started. If anything, feeling worse, like even more of a failure because now there's something else they tried that didn't work. So I went on a mission, an absolute hell-bent mission. I became obsessed. I mean, obsessed to not having weekends, to rolling out of bed from the couch, going back to sleep on the couch, and all I was doing was researching why. I looked at other modalities. I researched like excellence. How do you get somebody to be excellent? Like the definition of excellence. And all I came across was like NLP, therapies, life coaching, hypnotherapy, there's this timeline therapy. So I went off and I became a trainer in a lot of them because I wanted to master them and see, what am I missing? What am I missing? I remember one of my colleagues said to me, what have you changed? You're different. You've lost the Maz factor. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I've gone out and I've learned these techniques. They said, well, you better unlearn them real fast. I'm coming away from my natural way. I was accused of being a rebel, a renegade, a disruption. because I wasn't doing the very thing that apparently was the only way to be successful. But you've got to wonder why I was #1 in 10 countries, yet apparently I was doing it wrong, because I was teaching what they told me I had to teach to the leaders, but I wasn't actually doing it. And I whispered to them and I said, I'm not doing this. They said, don't tell them that. I'm like, oh, okay. So, okay. I was set up to feel like a fraud. I was told to teach the very things I wasn't doing. So I was teaching goal setting. I was teaching be consistent. Do this every week without fail. But secretly, I wasn't doing that. So here I was feeling like a failure, a fraud, and even a fluke. Oh, don't tell them that, Maz, because they're not like you. But it took a lot for me to really soul search and go, hang on a minute, I must be doing something right. I've got the rungs on the ladder, I'm the #1, I'm holding all these records, I'm making all this money, and you're still telling me to shut up and don't tell anyone what I'm really doing. Okay, now 1 million women that we trained had the exact same opportunity as I did, but it was only me. All were being taught straight out of top personal development books. I mean the bestsellers, all written by men. And the ones that were written by women were trained by men. All of those things that we were teaching and I wasn't doing was because I'm a woman, and although I was considered lazy and effortless success, like just kind of like fluke, what actually was occurring was I was running my body and my brain how it wanted to run. So I was being naturally a woman and also getting the success. So that's what I want to help you to have. Effortless success done the female way, which is designed by a woman for women. And I would say it's your natural, innate. It will feel effortless. It feels like it fits like a glove. You will get, if not the same results as men do, but better, and without all of that stress that you feel and all of those fears that you feel. What we teach at the complete and ultimate empowerment course for women that empower others is, are you ready?